And welcome back to Out and About Today. I'm Chuck Long. We are in the middle of Buzz About. Lots of topics that we're discussing. We were just talking about, country music and how hard it is to be out and open and gay, and the Nate Green story. So hopefully we'll have more on that for you in the coming weeks. Right now, though, we're going to switch it over a little bit. We're going to talk about some of the upcoming movies this fall. I know we did that last week with Pam on the show. There's a lot of movies to talk about. One of them that is coming out, it's already playing in New York and LA, Love is Strange. It's doing really great at the box office in a limited release. Have you guys heard about this one?
I have. In fact, before you sent the trailer, I had seen something for it. It looked really, and I love John Lithgow anyway,
Yeah.
So I was really excited to see him in it.
And it's a really interesting story. It's two men who have been in a relationship. It's Alfred Molina and John Lithgow. They've been in a relationship for 39 years. They finally get married, and then the archdiocese finds out about it, and he fires the Alfred Molina character, and then they have to go live with friends and family. So right now, take a little look, and we'll talk about it on the backside.
Has anybody seen my glasses?
Please God, not today.
We are gathered here today with the purpose of uniting in matrimony George Esteban Garea, Benjamin Arthur Hall.
Your love, your dedication, your commitment to each other are an example to be followed.
Word got out to the archdiocese. You've all known this whole time that Ben and I have been living together.
The decision is effective immediately.
Now, we invited you all here today because, well, you're family. With my private lessons and Ben's pension, we need a place to stay.
All right, so this is one of the things I love that Hollywood is now doing. I mean, more stories than just the usual gay love story that you've seen in the past. So, I mean, this I think is going to do really well.
It looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing
So
it.
Marissa Tomei is also in this as well. All right, now we've had him on the show. In fact, we did an entire episode with him. But George Takei, he has a new documentary out. So what are your thoughts on the documentary? Would you go to see the documentary on Takei?
Absolutely. I mean, he's just hilarious.
He is hilarious. The trailer was fantastic. I love the part at the end where they were eating the Cheetos in the car. And it's just, the whole thing was funny. And I love following him on Twitter. I love watching his Facebook feed. He's always funny.
He is funny.
He's become like a social media darling too.
Yeah.
So, and that's one of the reasons that they say, everybody apparently in this documentary was open to talking about, their relationships with him, except William Shatner, who did talk about him, but he was not very complimentary. He said, this is basically someone that I knew 50 years ago. I worked with him for a short time, and I have not had intercourse with them since. And he's talking about just verbal intercourse. And the producer of the movie, interestingly enough, said, I think that's just bitter grapes, that Leonard Nimoy became such a breakout star from Star Trek, and then George Takei, because of his social media and everything, he's become this media darling, and she thinks that William Shatner is just
And he's become that recently. William Shatner's got, what, Travelocity or whatever, whatever he does, and that's about it.
Priceline.
Priceline, thank you. Yeah, he's just jealous.
I think that's it. Okay, so right now we are going to take a look. This is To Be Takei.
As far as I can remember, I've always been me.
I have to tell you that in my email, no one gets more positives than George.
I totally love your smart humor on Facebook.
I was the best helmsman in the galaxy and put to rest all that stereotype about Asian drivers. Aye, aye, sir. Warp 3. My father told me, look at the kind of roles that Asians are playing. And I said, Daddy, I'm going to change it.
There weren't many Asians on television, so when George would come on, it would be a special thing.
And
What is it about George Takei, do you think, though, that people respond to?
It's sort of his eternal youth. He just, no matter, he just always seems happy and upbeat.
Yeah, relatable.
Relatable, yeah.
Talking to you.
Yeah, and he's also got a show, Allegiance, they're hoping to get on Broadway, but he says they've been in line for 2 years just to get that the big producers get all the houses booked. So, all right, now I want to make sure that we get to talk about the upcoming edition of Out and About Nashville. So what can we expect in September, James?
there's a lot in the cover. I hope you've already seen it. There is a great cover this month of The Princess.
There it is.
And, it's a beautiful picture. The theme of the month is drag, and Nashville drag in particular. We have a nice center spread illustrating various types of drag with locals. We have stories by a trans activist who calls into question some of the drag values and things like that. So we have the drag on the one hand, and on the other hand, we're covering a lot of really serious issues in Nashville, from the AIDS walk to the closing of the homeless youth temporary shelter. So a lot in this month.
It really is. It's a great edition of it. So just quickly on that, any more to talk about on the closing of the homeless youth shelter?
I was at the meeting on Monday, and I'm in the process of editing some video about that. We're going to put up information for people to volunteer, to sign up, to help.
Okay. And I saw some photos from it. It looked like it was very well attended. The meeting was anyway.
There were probably 100 plus.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Very good to know. And one last term, wanted to make sure that we did mention that the movie Boulevard, of course, it was filmed right here in Nashville with Robin Williams, and it's just, one of the saddest stories ever, with what happened with Robin Williams. But we're going to be looking for that movie to be coming out in limited release. But interestingly enough, since his death, the trailer's not on YouTube anymore, so I don't know if the distribution company is taking a different tactic, but we're going to be keeping our eyes open for what happens with Boulevard. So he actually, because in that, he plays a man who's been not dealing with his homosexuality till later in life. So interested to see that. And actually some Nashville actors have great parts in that. J. Karen Thomas, Henry Haggard, and we're looking forward to that. So, all right, thanks guys. As always, enjoyed it. All right, well, have you ever gone to vote and can't even understand the questions on the ballot? Up next, Brent will get a tutorial on the upcoming November election and what you need to know before you step into the ballot box. So come on back with us.